Did you know that the Los Angeles Dodgers may have made one of the biggest deals of the season? And the best part, this could completely transform the future of the franchise. And believe me, this bet could be far more valuable than you think. Let's talk about Roki Sasaki, a name that is generating more and more expectations in the world of baseball. At 23 years old, Sasaki is not just a rookie. He could be the biggest signing of the Dodgers offseason. And what's even more surprising is that he costs a fraction of the price of other big names that have come to MLB. Next Wednesday, he will make his major league debut, facing the Chicago Cubs in the Tokyo series. And believe me, this debut will be a milestone not just for him, but also for the Dodgers. Here's the secret. Sasaki, who has a pitch arsenal that includes a fastball that reaches 100 miles per hour and a deadly slider, came to LA with a contract of only $6.5 million, and his salary in the first 2 seasons is only $760,000 and $780,000. This is an incredibly low amount for a player of his caliber, especially considering that he could be a true baseball star. For a team like the Dodgers, who have a roster full of well-paid players, it's almost unbelievable that Sasaki was signed for this price. He's a true gem, and this deal could be one of the best financial moves the Dodgers have made in recent years. But how did this happen? Well, there's a reason why Sasaki was so cheap. When players from Nippon Professional Baseball, NPB, want to move to MLB before the age of 25, they enter a system that makes them much more financially accessible. That's what happened with Sasaki. And here's where it gets even more interesting. He could ask for much more, but he chose to leave money on the table to pursue his dream of playing in MLB. The same happened with Shohei Ohtani, who at 23 signed with the Los Angeles Angels, also opting for a lower amount in exchange for a spot in the major leagues. And believe me, this move paid off for Ohtani, who became the highest paid player in baseball history. Now back to Sasaki. The expectations for him are huge. In 2023, he was one of the main figures when Japan won the World Baseball Classic, showing that he's not just a promise, but a reality. When he entered professional league in Japan, the media already saw him as the next big star in world baseball. And the good news for the Dodgers is that when Sasaki decided to come to MLB, 20 teams were competing to sign him. The interest around him couldn't be greater. The question is, what did the Dodgers get out of this deal? They signed a young player with immense potential for an extremely low price, something rare in the world of baseball, especially on a team with the highest payroll in the league. For the Dodgers, who have already spent large amounts of money to build a competitive roster, this type of deal was a masterstroke. And what makes this story even more impressive is that Sasaki is just getting started. The team is practically paying a symbolic amount for a pitcher who could become one of the biggest stars in MLB in the coming years. And if you think Sasaki is just another talent from Japan, think again. When you compare Sasaki's contract value to that of Yoshinobu Yamamoto, another great Japanese pitcher who signed with the Dodgers in 2024, it's clear that Sasaki is a bargain. Yamamoto signed a 12-year, $325 million contract, the largest contract in history for a pitcher. Sasaki, however, is coming to LA for a laughably low cost in comparison. He has the potential to become as good as or even better than Yamamoto, but for a fraction of the price. And this could be one of the greatest financial moves in the franchise's history. Moreover, what makes Sasaki so valuable is not just his talent, but also the impact he can have on the Dodgers' future. By paying such a low salary for a player with so much potential, the Dodgers have more room in the salary cap to make other moves, like bringing in more stars or strengthening other areas of the team. It's a true long-term strategy, and if Sasaki lives up to expectations, this could be the beginning of a new era for the Dodgers. Now, all of this depends on Sasaki adapting quickly to MLB baseball. He will have to prove he can play at the highest level, something that not all foreign players manage to do right away. But if he can replicate the success he had in Japan, he could be a key piece in the Dodgers' pursuit of more championships. And the best part is that the Dodgers won't have to pay a fortune for that. In his words, Sasaki never imagined his career would get this far, but now he's ready to show the world what he's capable of. He spoke about how he thought about playing in MLB since his school days, but never imagined he would debut on a stage as grand as the Tokyo Dome. And honestly, This is the kind of story that makes a baseball player's career even more exciting. Sasaki is not just a great talent. He is a player with a story that makes him even more interesting to fans. And, of course, the pressure is building. The expectations around Sasaki only grow as he approaches his debut. Fans, not only in Japan but worldwide, are eager to see what he can do in the major leagues. And what will be even more exciting is that the Dodgers are in an incredible position to take advantage of this. If Sasaki hits his potential, this could be the greatest find in the franchise's recent history. So, will Sasaki be the next big name in MLB? If he continues to impress as he did in Japan and in the World Baseball Classic, the answer may be yes. And with the way the Dodgers structured this deal, they could be about to reap the rewards in negotiation that could mark their decade. But the season is just beginning. And if you want to keep up with everything that's coming, subscribe to the channel and don't miss any details about the Dodgers and how they're shaping their future. The 2025 regular season hasn't even started yet, but we're already seeing a whirlwind of speculation about major trades that could completely change the landscape of baseball. And among all the expected moves, one name stands out surprisingly: Sandy Alcántara, the Miami Marlins pitcher who won the 2022 National League Cy Young Award, is getting closer to being the center of one of the most talked about trades in recent times. And the best part for baseball fans? He could be heading to the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Marlins, who are coming off a disastrous season with 100 losses and have few prospects of competing, are starting to consider the idea of making Alcantara available for trade. And this opens up an opportunity for teams like the Dodgers, who might see in Alcantara the missing piece to strengthen their rotation and continue the pursuit of the title. According to Zachary D. Reimer from Bleacher Report, the idea of a trade between the Marlins and Dodgers is something that's already circulating among experts. Although the Dodgers already have a solid pitching rotation, last season showed that even the best teams can be affected by injuries. Reimer wrote, "Another ace is the last thing the Dodgers need for now." However, he also pointed out that, considering the injuries the team face in 2024, their rotation may be more vulnerable than it appears at first glance. And this is where Alcantara comes in. The presence of a pitcher like Alcantara, who has the ability to dominate batters and shine in the toughest moments, could be a huge asset for the Dodgers. If he fully recovers from his Tommy John surgery and returns to playing at a high level, he could add an undeniable strength to the team's rotation. The Dodgers have the talent and resources to pull off this trade, and this could put them in an even stronger position to win in 2025. However, the Dodgers aren't the only team interested in Alcantara. Reimer also mentioned other big MLB names that could enter the race, such as the Atlanta Braves, Arizona Diamondbacks, Minnesota Twins, San Diego Padres, Texas Rangers, and Toronto Blue Jays. However, the 5 teams that, according to experts, have the best chances of acquiring Alcantara are Boston Red Sox, Chicago Cubs, New York Mets, Baltimore Orioles, and New York Yankees. And here's the interesting part. The competition is fierce, and the Dodgers will need to act quickly if they want to secure the pitcher. But beyond the teams mentioned, the situation could be even more competitive than expected. Inside sources revealed that even teams like the St. Louis Cardinals and Los Angeles Angels, who need reinforcements on a mound, might also attempt to trade for the Cy Young winner. The situation is becoming more and more tense, and the possibility of an auction between the wealthiest teams in the league seems more real than ever. What really put Alcantara in the spotlight, however, was his impressive performance during the 2025 spring training. Despite coming off Tommy John surgery in 2023, he showed no signs of decline. In 5 Grapefruit League games, he maintained an outstanding performance, allowing no earned runs in any of those games. He gave up only 2 unearned runs, recorded 10 strikeouts, and limited opponents to just 9 hits. All this in just 12.1 innings, which generated huge expectations among league scouts. Alcantara is already being talked about as one of the top trade targets for midseason, especially because his contract runs through 2026, with a club option for 2027. Jeff Passan from ESPN confirmed on March 5th that Alcantara's situation is being closely monitored. He wrote, "Teams are already wondering if Alcantara will be available by the trade deadline, especially considering that the Marlins are far from competing in 2025. This timing factor is crucial, as Alcantara's contract is relatively affordable for a player of his caliber, making the trade even more tempting for teams looking to strengthen their rotations without breaking the bank. Alcantara's 2022 season was undoubtedly one of the best years of his career, when he won the National League Cy Young Award with a monstrous performance. That year, he had a 14-9 record, a 2.28 ERA, a 0.98 WHIP, and 207 strikeouts in 228.2 innings, and made his second All-Star Game appearance. But the 2023 season was a big setback for the pitcher, as he finished with 7-12 record, a 4.14 ERA, and a 1.213 WHIP. An elbow injury required him to undergo Tommy John surgery, which caused him to miss the entire 2024 season. Now, the big question is, can Alcantara return to being the dominant pitcher he was in 2022? His spring training performance has already gotten everyone excited, but the doubt about his full recovery persists. This opens up a fascinating scenario for the Dodgers, who, if they choose to acquire him, will be making a big bet on his return to top-level performance. And if you think Alcantara's impact would be just about dominant pitching, think again. The presence of a player like him can transform the entire rotation, as well as serve as a great motivator for other players on the team. He would bring not only quality, but also a winning mindset to Dodgers, who already have a very talented roster. Alcantara, if successful, could be the leader the rotation needs, a true game changer for any team aiming to win the World Series. So, the question is, which team will secure Alcantara? The answer could be the Dodgers, but the competition is fierce, and everything will depend on the pitcher's performance in the coming weeks and the moves behind the scenes. The season is just starting, and if you want to keep up with all the action, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. After all, we're just beginning to see how the 2025 season will unfold, and big trades could happen at any moment.